Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I just learned, but then there could be something where when there was moments of like me feeling awkward because I was fat and made fun of as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
I think I took, instead of coming inward with it of
Mm-hmm.
social like anxiety and awkwardness, I became a fighter. So I became more of like, fuck you. You're not going to
Mm-hmm.
hurt me first. I'll make
Mm-hmm.
fun of myself first before
Mm-hmm.
that. So I kind of like learned how to own the room, but then that wasn't me either.
That's
It
really
was
good.
very aggressive. It was very a
Sure.
character in itself, you know what I mean? But it was,
Right.
I felt as though I had more power to control an environment
Mm-hmm.
than this social awkwardness, because this to me feels really helpless and it makes me feel sad
Yes.
a little bit.
Wait, so say
I don't
that
think
part
people that are
again.
socially awkward feel sad. I'm not sure everybody out there, anybody that has social awkwardness, again, I'm ignorant to it and anxiety. I went
Right.
the other extreme to like being aggressive and kind of like, hey, this is me, everybody. Like I went to the opposite extreme.
Right, because you can
Right.
control.
Right.
Right.
But that wasn't organic either because I was playing a part as well.
Sure.
Right. But like with social anxiety, it makes me feel sad sometimes when people say they're very anxious. They can't leave the house. They can't see people because of the fear of what other people think of them.
Now, is that because it's a medical condition? Is that like an imbalance of like a chemical imbalance?
I think the awkwardness may come from where I'm not sure.
Anxiety. Like, because so we got to
Yeah.
differentiate. Awkwardness is awkwardness and anxiety is anxiety. And that's the medical part. So for
Exactly.
the anxiety, is that like is that a chemical imbalance? Is it an insecurity? I mean, I would imagine some of that comes from abuse even.
I would think so. I would think it would
Yeah.
be trauma. And I also think I
Yeah.
think parenting has a lot to do with it too. Because my parents always were like, you're good enough, you're good. Go walk in a room, put your head
Positive.
high. You know what I mean? But I
Right.
see a lot of parents and people that like break down their kids and they're
Yeah.
like, don't say that. Be seen, not heard. Don't do this. Don't. And so it kind of makes them feel awkward in
Sure.
a situation.
When
because-
personalities are being developed and then all of a
Yeah,
sudden.
I would
yeah.
think if anybody out there, let me know. Again, we
don't know, yeah.
we come at this with our stories in our life, but this is not something that I have anxiety in life. Don't get me wrong,
Same.
but then I try to
But
just
it's
stronghold
manageable.
it.
Well, and also therapy and help
That's
to
huge.
to have tools to work around it. I've had social awkwardness. Now
Right.
that you've defined it, I've had awkwardness for
Really?
sure. Well, I mean, understand this. I wasn't born here. I was born in the Philippines.
Right.
When I came here, I didn't know English very well.
Oh yeah,
So I learned English coming here. And
that's a big one. Yeah.
and little kids can be so mean.
Oh, I
and so
Did you ever get made fun of for being like looking different than
like fresh off the boat,
Yeah,
for sure.
really.
But
Yeah.
I'm little, so I don't have like crazy big memories of it. It was just what it was at the time.
Right.
And then I become American because I'm still young anyway. So I, was raised here pretty much. And so, yeah, you have that awkwardness of being different. Like I said, I had a mean girl phase,
Yeah.
like being treated badly by mean girls. And then, yeah, like also being kind of a loner a little bit. Like I could socialize. I know how to socialize. I know how to navigate between different groups and stuff like that. But I didn't have my own group. I didn't have my own bestie, that type of deal. When I went home, I went home. I was an only child. So there was that separation, I would say.
Yeah.
But the awkwardness it kind of stems from that, and just also basic puberty, growing up, trying to figure out who you are, what you want to be, what you want to do.
Right. Like I know this man and he is like, I got to know him later on because I looked at him. I was like, do you have a problem with me? And he's like, no, I'm really fucking awkward. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I've known him for so long, like, but he's not a close friend, but he comes in and out and I see him at parties and through. And I was just like, oh my God. He's like, you have to understand. It's
Yeah.
me. And he's like, I'm in therapy right now. I was like, oh, I love therapy. Okay. Cause like, and then it took me to be like, is it me? Like, what's going on? And he was like, no, let me just break it down. He's like, this is severe in my life.
Yeah.
Because he was always awkward at making jokes and stuff. Nice man.
Yeah.
But just like, okay, got it. We're on different wavelengths. That's it. You know what I mean? And a little bit, and when we go to party situations.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where I'm like, they're scared of being center of attention. And I walk in, I'm like, hi, everybody. How you? But that's my defense too. You know what I mean? To kind of come in and be like, let's see what's going on, to feel the room.
Here's an ask. if you did that, right, as a defense mechanism or as a tool in figuring out how to navigate a room, you would be like, I'm going to take the bull by the horns and just do it myself first so that I could take it. You know what I mean? That's what you did. Where did you feel awkward in doing that? And did that have to do with the fact that your dad was who your dad was?
Well, that's interesting. It's funny. That's a good question. There's nothing that's ever hurt my heart more, honestly, than seeing people. I watch them across the room and they won't pay attention to me. And then like, I'll say hi to them. They'll ignore me. And then I watch someone tell that person who my dad is. And then I watch that motherfucker, excuse my French, I watch a motherfucker come across the room and then change with me completely. It sucks. Like, because I'm shut off completely. I'm just like, oh, really? Because I'm not the famous one, right? So they, because people that are famous, they see it just right away. Like they change right away.
Yeah.
But when you see somebody tell and then they look over and I'm like, so maybe that's part of the control of me walking in the room. And then, I've even been known to be like, yeah, my dad does this to just, because people are like, why do you tell? To just set the bar.
Yeah.
Because there's something in me that wants to feel out the environment, know what I'm coming into. Because I've been hurt so many times before.
It's hard when you're a kid too.
That's
in that
the worst.
Scenario, because you still don't quite understand, but it's not great. It's not, you don't like it. It's strange.
That's not who I am. But then I watch them and then they want to kiss my ass. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh my, you were just a dick to me. Like, what the
Yeah, it's strange. When I think back on that helped, that informed me feeling awkward.
Right.
But I wasn't awkward
was a
because
major
of awkward.
VJ, right?
Yeah.
It's a VJ.
He was a VJ.
I grew up with no music, so
he was a DJ and a VJ.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's not like I felt awkward. All of a sudden, I felt awkward after realizing and going like, you're doing the most right now. Like, what happened here? And then, but they were really good at kind of explaining that to me, my mom and dad. You know what I mean? He'd be like, yep, they're still people.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, just because you're famous doesn't mean it gives you license to be an asshole or the people around, that help things. So.
And some of the biggest celebrities I've ever met have the most social awkwardness and anxiety.
Yes, of course, I'm sure.
Because can you imagine people are just coming up to them and like not knowing their day to day that they had a shitty day. They just are like, oh, you're in that one movie. Oh my God. And they're supposed to play this part of being.
And they feel like, and also fame is a different beast.
It's so
because it's like people
too.
think they know you and they don't know who you are.
No kidding.
And
it can spin fast, out of control.
Absolutely.
Whew. Yeah.